Well, it's last Saturday of the month, and we know what that means. It's update time. So I'm going to show you where my Vanguard is. I'm also going to show you where that £100 30-day challenge thing is, because it's now complete. And we'll go through that. But I also want to touch on human nature, because I think human nature will make or break you as a trader.
Really?
Really?
And it's the exact reason 90% of people fail. Now, it's a touchy subject because a lot of people do kick off. And if you go through the comments, certainly on the small challenge updates, you'll start picking out the fucking morons who should never be near a chart in the first place.
Who is he? He's an asshole, sir.
But that's illustrated in a little poll that I put out. Interested? Stick around. So we'll start with the updates and then I'll go through human nature. Now, if you like trading, you like this channel, do hit the subscribe, hype it, share to your friends, all of that. It genuinely helps me and motivates me to do more. At the moment, I'm getting kicked from left, right and centre, and you'll see that I've stepped right back. Because that's my human nature. If I'm not getting the message through and I'm just getting kicked for it, I'm just not going to do it. It's that simple. And now you're about to see why. So let me just pull in the Vanguard first. It's done all right. It could be a bit better, but I'm not overly worried by it. But let's have a little look, shall we? So it's currently sitting at 229,533. Now, I did have that over 230,000, and I was really pleased with it.
I'd buy that for $1.
But the equity curve is still doing okay. There is talk of the bubble about to burst, and it could be massively affected. I don't give a shit, because I use global funds with this. And the way that I work is very simple. You see me trade, and the surplus over my wages goes into here. Now, this was also built from next to nothing, which is why that 100 quid challenge that I'm going to show you in a moment is incredibly important, because you've got to learn the craft, but you've also got to start from somewhere. If you think for a merry second, you watch a 15-minute video, and suddenly you're the master of the universe, because I thought fair value gap, like, and there's a liquidity sweep up there. Oh, look, there's a breaker block. Absolute bollocks, right?
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
The markets have never changed in centuries. They go up, they go down, they go sideways. Now, over the course of the last few decades, it's obviously become a little bit more technical based in the sense that we have computers and one thing and another. But the principles is always the same. It's sell high, buy low. That's it. And you've got to be able to work out where those high and lows are. They're not on a 5-minute chart, guys. And if you're looking for these fabled sort of systems like the fair value gap and sort of smart money concepts as it's all bollocksed about, the charts are not that fucking complicated. Find a good high, find a good low, and decide what the general sentiment is for the session. That's it. That's all trading is. If you've got the direction right, it'll forgive the entry. And there isn't any candle, pattern or anything will tell you otherwise. But you believe it because of the amount of garbage that's put through. I'll give you a good example. I'll do that in human nature, right? So I'll make a note of that because I do forget and I ramble off. But I'll give you a good example of human nature, all right? And how if you see something over and over, you believe it.
You must ask the right questions.
And it's a real life example that can be fact checked. Okay, so we're sitting at 229. Now, when I last checked this, it's lost ground. 0.04 from the last check, which was yesterday. And then the week prior, which was the last growth check prior to that, it had actually lost 3 grand.
Holy fuck.
I'm not bothered, right? Because it fluctuates backwards and forwards, and I'll show you that as well. Now, in the last update, I said I've got a surplus of 20 grand, and I put that in here. And I did get the comments going, yeah, you haven't. Nobody earns that. Well, there the fuck it is. 20 grand. All right? I'm doing all right. So I'm not fussed, okay? And this human nature really fucking grinds me up at the moment.
You took the jam out of your donut.
So, the next part of it is, are you winning every single month? Well, no, we're not. It's bumping along, but there you go. I put into that this month 22,000 quid. All right? Colossal amount of money. And it's losing 663 at the minute. March, I lost, well, thick end of 11 grand it dropped down. But the very next month it made it back.
Because I have balls, and you don't.
That's why I'm not worried. Now, this happens periodically all the time. Let's go back approximately a year, just so you can kind of get an example of these things. So take it down, and we'll drop this backwards so you can kind of see it. So there's that 600. So historically, it does it all the time. There was a bad month here. Well, it's bad 3 months. Boom. But it didn't half come back with gusto. Happened here. Came back with gusto. So never be frightened of red marks. I did see a comment from one of the guys, and I'll give them a little salute, because said they don't like to see red P&L. It's not an issue as long as it's planned. And you're going to see that again. Now, transactions wise, again, look, I'm constantly dripping in just small amounts. If I make 6 quid off something, great. If I make a couple hundred quid off something, great. You know, and I do it constantly. Look at the dates. They're very tightly packed together. I'm doing it over and over. Constantly feeding in. There's the 20 grand. You know, I split it. What I did was I just decided to fill up the ISA. Why not? Because there's a change next year. So I'm getting as much money into it as I can. And then next year I'll have to reevaluate what I'm doing. So there you go. 229,000 quid. It's all right, isn't it? Especially when you see where it came from. Just pull that down, just so you can, hold on. Might have to just move it over. There we are. There you are. That's when it started. 1st of January, 2022, under a grand. And this was done in front of the guys in the squad. And they've watched me build this up over the years. From nothing to this. So when I get daft comments, sort of saying, I'll make more in a paper round. Your paper round wouldn't make you that though, would it?
Fuck no!
So when I hear that, it's just, you're a fucking idiot. Shouldn't be in the game in the first place. Why? Because your expectation is completely wrong.
It's greed.
Now, let me flick this back and we'll have a look at this. So this account is 231. Okay, I use a BlackBull hedge account on this one. So what you want to be looking for is that hedge. Okay. And I tracked it. Now, the way I tracked it was through a growth tracker. Now, what this does is it gives me a good idea of where I'm at and what I'm doing. So I started at 100 quid, 2% gain roughly. As you get higher, it does get harder on the percentages, but your money side balances out. So it's just one of them things. So money value goes up, percentage goes down. If you've got a small account, it's the other way around. So what we're looking at the moment, it's averaging between 2 and 5% a day. Quite happy with that. I've ran it for 41 days. I didn't trade every day. It's bank holidays. I went away on holiday, and obviously you got weekends. So it's 41 days from the inception, and I've traded about 30 days. But it's grown, 131 quid. Well, 132 quid for this month. Now, what can I do with that? Well, I can take half of it out and do it again next month and start again. But as you can see, I've already got accounts built. I don't need to do that. What I can do is just take the whole lot out and have a jolly old time with it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. But you need to track things. So I should have really filled this in for the whole 41, but I kind of missed the days off that I wasn't trading. That's why the days are kind of a little bit skew with at times. But it's roughly about 30 days. But one thing that it does show is this. You can start seeing where all of my trading's done. There's a lot of it done at 7 o'clock. None of it is done at 8 o'clock because I don't trade opens, or I try not to. But it's all prior to 2 o'clock in the afternoon is when it comes through. I mean, on this day, I was done before 8 o'clock. It was finished in the 7 o'clock candle.
I like it!
And that's it. And then you just run across and you keep a track of your transactions, what you do. Now, this is very good information because it shows me the density of where my trades are. And this is where human nature takes over.
Why?
See, I plan this all out. I know exactly what I'm doing. And I know roughly when my best trading times are. So I can lean into that. That's what that account has given me. Now, if we go back to it and flick it up, and we just start to say, look at the history. And I go back. There's your 100 quid going in. And then bish, bash, bosh. All the way down through. Can't get it right all the time. You know, I do have to sacrifice and kill trades. But there you go. There's your 100 quid. There's your final balance. And there's the profit across the 40 odd days or 30 trading days, whatever it is. You know, a little bit of swap, but nothing really to sing home about. So I'm quite chuffed with that. It proved that it is feasible to build an account as long as you're not swinging at the fences all the time. And that's what human nature is all about.
Let me think.
Now, I said I'd give you a real life example of how something can be repeated to you so many times you start to believe it. Now, when the Labour government came in, they came in with no plan whatsoever. Fucking useless. They said they were costed for government, but they clearly weren't. So they started blaming the Conservatives, saying there is a 23 billion black hole.
It's a financial black hole.
That they had to fill, and that is why they're doing what they're doing. And they kept saying it and repeating it and repeating it till people started to believe it. However, the OBR, the Bank of England, and all the top economists said this doesn't exist. They can't find it. And it came out again just last month that the OBR did a thorough review and the 23 billion black hole did not exist.
What?
They couldn't quantify what it was. But because it was repeated over and over and over again, you believed it was there. Trading is exactly the same. You will see something over and over and over again to the point where you think it is gospel. But it doesn't back up what's going on, which is why I'm like sort of saying about these different strategies. If you believe them, you suddenly start seeing them. But dig deeper into it. They're everywhere. Trading is very, very simple. The markets will go down, they will go up. That's it. Now, what you've got to understand is what drives the market. Well, until the computers take over and the Terminator decides to come back in time, it's human nature. Because a lot of the markets are driven by acquisition. You know, land purchases, wages are from international countries, companies rather. Because if you think about Pepsi Cola, you know, they're a worldwide brand. They'll have offices in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, in the Far East, America. Well, if you live in Europe, you won't pay it in euros. If you're in America, you won't pay it in dollars. So there's going to have to be some kind of transaction there. That happens every month. If you're a car manufacturer and you decide to build a new plant, you're going to go to where labour is cheap. But your head office will be in your native country. So if Toyota, for argument's sake, decides they're building a new car factory, they might be based in the Far East, but that factory might be in Poland. It might be in South America. You don't know. So they'll have to buy land to build the factory. Then they have to pay the contractors to build the factory. Then they have to pay the employees inside the factory. Then they've got the surrounding supply chain. All this is driven by a human decision. So human nature has a massive impact on the markets. Now, the other side of it is, if you're dealing with that amount of money, do you think you're really doing it on a 5-minute whim?
Now you're asking the right question, shitstick.
No, it'd be planned out over weeks and months, etc. So sometimes when you're looking for your directions, you're actually looking in the wrong place. You should be looking higher in the chart for your trade idea, not lower in the chart. The lower you go into the chart, the more noise there is. And your decision should be made before you get to your 5-minute chart. You should know the direction of the market you're going to trade, and more importantly, what that market's willing to give on a daily basis if you're day trading. That's why you've got to be able to look at the ATR and understand how it works. Now, I work on a principle of 3. I know I'm not going to get the bottom third. I know I'll probably not time the top third, because to time the market's top and bottom, it's incredibly difficult. So what I'm looking for is the bit in the middle. Easy stuff. Now, as long as I've got that direction correct, and I would like to think I'm pretty good at getting direction, it'll forgive any entry. Well, if I've got a bad entry, but I've got the direction right, I can lean into that and actually get myself a better price through DCA, reduce my exposure in the meantime, and increase the upside. Now, that's common sense. This is nothing new. This is DCA from the 70s, 60s, probably back to bloody into the 30s, when everybody was sort of, oh my God, the stock market's crashing, you know, the Jesse Livermore times. It's not changed, because the market can only do 3 things. And I've already told you. They go up, they go down, they go sideways. That's it. So when we go back to human nature, I mean, this made me chuckle a little bit. I decided that I would put a little poll out. And the poll was, should I take a holiday? I know I've just been on a holiday, and people laugh, well, you're always on holiday. Well, you're right. It's part of my exit plan. I'm 56 years old now. And for anybody who's followed the channel for a long time, I'll know I'm coming to the end of it. It's I do it for fun anyway. It's nothing more than that. But it takes up a lot of my time. And as you get older, time becomes more and more important to you. Now, I've also built up my financial worth, and you've seen it done in front of you, that I can effectively do what I want when I want. If I want to retire tomorrow, I can. You know, I'm still, will I have a millionaire life? No, I won't, but I'll have a life. So what I do at the moment is I work for time. So I trade a bit, get a bit of money in the bank, and I just think, well, what do I do? Should I buy a nice car, or should I go on holiday and have a nice memory? Well, I can always replace the car, but I can't replace the memory. And I want to make her life the best it can be.
Splendid girl, and so helpful. Do you know she's been showing me how to stick the pole up?
So we'll go on holiday. And that's it. That's what trading does for me. It's why I trade. My human nature is trade for freedom. And it's taken me a while, but I've done it. But if you're just looking to make some money off a paper round, you ain't. So, I asked the guys who follow me, what should I do? Because I do put it out to them and I do everything for them. You know, so take Joanne away and have a blackout. Because every holiday I've had, I've worked. I still do the strengths for them in the morning. I answer their questions. I even get the buggers ringing me up. Does annoy me because WhatsApp's only for messages, but some people do ring me. Anyway, cut long story short, they've seen what I've done and they've seen that you get to a burnout point. And all of them said, just take a week off. Right? So I thought I'd put the same poll to the public. You lot. Slightly different result. 72% said yes, have a blackout mode. But what made me laugh was, 12% go away but still work. All right. Then there's some, no, don't go away. I need your help more. Now, for people like that, I do worry for them and I will help them because they're trying to get a better life. And I'm quite happy to help them do that. The ones that make me laugh is this one. Go and don't come back. Because I know exactly who they are that would do that. They're the ones that stick it in all the time. But they watch everything I do, trying to get a secret little snippet from me, which is odd, because I've got no time for them.
Oh, here we go. No.
And for me, I know I get sort of various things. People say, fucking hell, when you go on a rant, you're unhinged. It's because I've got nothing to gain, you know. My theory in life is quite simple. When you've got somebody who's a stranger, you don't know them, and you treat them good, because you should, but they only get one chance to insult you because they don't know you. One chance. You know, if you're friends and you've known each other for years, of course we insult people. I mean, the way it works in my circle of friends is this. I mean, when you talk about, I don't even know what the fucking Gen Zs are and all this sort of crap, but all the woke little ponces that are kicking about today, if someone says, do you think I'm fat? They'll go, oh no, you're beautiful. Everybody should just be the same. Oh no, don't take it to heart. Then you've got the next generation. Do you think I should do something about it? Oh, yeah, I'll help you do that. And then you got my generation.
Fat bastard.
And if I said to my mates, hey, do you think I'm fat? They'll say, well, I know 5 fat people and you're 4 of them. So that's the way we are. You know, we were built up that way. We're not into this namby-pamby world. And the other part of it is, we were also taught to work for what you can get. Nobody's going to give it to you. You know, that's my generation. The generation today believes everything should be given to them on a plate and it should be instant. You know, this is the thing, and this is what's the destruction of society. It's instant gratification with no payoff. Whereas when I grew up, you had to work for something, and when you got it, that gratification had a massive payoff because you knew it took a long time to get there. Now, this is full circle back to the Vanguard. It started very small, but it's now become something that's paying roughly 30, 40 grand a year for doing nothing. So when I see the dumb comments, I know those people will amount to nothing. And until they change their ways, they're going to be nothing short of losers.
You know, you're a classic example of the inverse ratio between the size of the mouth and the size of the brain.
And that's it. You know, that's human nature. Until you change your nature, you will fail. And in trading, it's amplified 10 times because only about 10% will analyze the trades, understand what the trades are about, but more importantly, know what they're about. I go into the market with full-on expectation. I know how much I can spend in it. I know how much I'm willing to lose in it. I know what the direction is. And then I know when to quit. And that's the big thing. I was asked today about 30-day challenges. Is it 30 trading days or is it 30 days? If I said start on the 1st of the month and end on the 30th of the month, that is 30 days. Just so you've got 20 days in the middle of it, doesn't matter. The point is it's 30 days to watch a chart grow. But then you start wanting to change it and twist around when it was simple to start with. Start on the 1st, end on the 30th. 30 days.
You know, if I was as worried as you, I'd never fart for fear of shitting myself.
If you traded one day in that 30 days, it don't matter. You still saw the chart for 30 days. So don't start going, well, there's 20 trading days. Well, there isn't. There's fucking 30. Because you can trade 7 days a week. There are weekend markets. That's human nature. You always look to twist it and change it. Trading's simple. Don't overcomplicate it, and you'll be fine. Anyway, cut long story short, I decided, sod it, I'm going anyway. So on the 27th, I'm done. And I'm going to sit in the sun. I'm going to watch my beautiful wife half naked. And if it's in our private pool, naked. Had to get it in, boys and girls. Sorry, had to get it in. Because my generation, we don't give a shit. We genuinely don't. And I love my wife more than anything. And I will tell that to the rooftops. And why? I'm comfortable in my life. Are you comfortable in yours? See you all in the next one.